Well, maybe we should just have a quick meeting in case anybody ever shows any interest in watching some of the recordings to see what's going on. So I'll just go through. I'll be the note taker, no new faces, strategic. So I guess the biggest thing I think we're still working on as a node team is the multi-arch support, right? I don't know if there's anything to mention on that in terms of key progress or things on the node front.
I experimented a little bit with trying to create a multi-arc build pack with the one that has dependencies.
Yeah.
There was an issue on jam and release. Eventually, I managed to build it locally, but I haven't spent more time on that one. Why the CI produces a wrong version of on the release. And then I tried to build it eventually because there are two artifacts produced, .cmd files.
Yeah.
In that case, pack CLI throws an error, and I didn't do any more investigation on that. But I will have a look next week again.
Okay.
Because we already have too many things in terms of multi-arc to take care of. So I think, I mean, definitely we should have progress on that one too, in parallel with the other things, but it's not, for the multi-arc in general, it's not a blocking at the moment.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, so it's good you're starting to like look at that multi-arch build pack with the Node.js meta build pack. So that's good. And it sounds like you already found an issue, a couple issues that like with patch to jam and so forth that will take a little while.
Yes, it was already patched, but as I said, the release was producing wrong artifacts. So
Yeah.
like when I tested, I was like, okay, it doesn't propagate the architecture. Then I looked at the code, it was patched. I built it locally with the code from the main branch.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
produced the correct output. I was like, okay, something is not aligned. So, but anyway.
Okay. Okay, and I guess the other thing worth mentioning is you proposed the UBI9 stack, which we believe the node meta build pack should just work fine with. Like we don't expect any problems there.
Yes, they probably will merge the PR.
Okay.
So after that, we need to create the builders in order to include the builders on our tests, specifically the build packless. So it's not like after we have created the stacks, we doesn't mean necessarily that we will be able to test it.
Yeah, like Jan in the meeting on Tuesday said he would look at creating the repos, which we asked if they could just be clones of the UBI one, like the existing, like the stack and builders. And then we could use those to like adjust, get them built, get the testing going and so forth.
Yeah,
Okay,
we will discuss about that. Yeah,
it's
okay.
good. And then I can bring up the issues. Let's see if I can share here. Share. Where's my right repo, my right screen? I think this is it. Okay. So this is, I generated the report just a few minutes ago to look at the issues across all the node repos. I didn't see anything that looks new. So like these first ones on Node Engine are just really around the multi-arch, which we're working on. On npm install, I didn't see any new issues. This one, I think Ralph was going to look at, this create package one. The rest are all just
Oh,
go ahead.
so yeah, the create package is something generated, as far as I remember, from libpack, and the version 2, probably I created this issue. Anyway,
I think Ralph had created, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Ralph had created that one.
yeah, I don't
I can go
remember.
take a look. Paketo Buildpacks, npm install, but it doesn't matter. Like what were you saying? You found something when you were looking at libpack as well?
Oh yeah, Ralph created this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that one was created by Ralph, the create package broken by multi-arch.
Yeah, you're right. And no. Sorry, I was talking about a different issue. Really sorry for that.
Sorry, and I see that there was an issue on libpack that Ralph has opened. So okay, so once that lands, then yep.
Sorry, I thought about another issue anyway.
Bumping. Okay, so then yeah, so then actually that one we're just waiting on then the land fix to land and libpack, and then for the new version. Going down to yarn install. I don't think there's anything new, just things on the backlog. Same with yarn. Same with node run script. Yeah, I don't see, I'm just going through. So yeah, I don't see anything else new on the list there.
That is true.
Okay, so where is, okay, here's, we went through the issues. That's, any other issues that we should chat on the node front or?
Um, the create package actually, I mean, GitHub config tries to update the create package on script/utils.
Okay,
This the functionality has changed from libpack.
okay,
So, but the thing is that we don't use on our workflows the create package at all. So, I mean, if I remove
right.
it, totally remove it, there will be no difference. So this means that I don't know the exact usage of create package.
It sounded to me like it was like Ralph, I think he works for SAP, and I know SAP builds their own versions of the build packs. And it sounds like they use libpack as part of their workflow. And that's why they ran into it. So it's not, yeah, I think my understanding is the same as yours. Like create package is not used within any of the Paketo Node.js flow of building things, but because I think they build Java, which does use it, they've somehow used it for both of them. I don't know how.
Yeah. But still, with the current scripts that we have, it breaks, and specifically breaks the major version 2.0.0.
Of
And this, for example, on npm install, if you go on updates GitHub config pull request, you will see the files changed.
okay, so sorry, I'm going Paketo Buildpacks. Which one was again? npm install.
Yeah, npm install. It's all
Right.
over the Buildpacks.
And so there's a pull request, and which one is it?
The GitHub updates GitHub config.
Right, okay. Right, okay. So that breaks. What does that break though if we're not using it?
Um, yeah, good question. Uh, yeah, it's like when we try to install it, some dependencies, like if you see it breaks on npm on installing the create package, not on using it.
Which job is it? Is it
If you go on the pull request
yep,
and you click on the conversation section and you click on the three failing checks on the
yep.
tests on the
Wait,
second row, for
okay,
example,
the second one. Okay, let me click on the second
and it
one.
says run integration tests.
Right, okay.
So
Well, that seems to say it doesn't think there's a create package version 2. that's under Paketo Buildpacks as well?
Yes, I think like somehow they have, as far as I remember, like, because I checked it like 3 weeks ago, they have changed
Yep.
the structure or something like that. So they don't have maybe they don't have the create package anymore, and they have the something similar. Um,
I'm just looking, do you know what repo it's in? Libpack? Okay, so it's in Libpack. It's created from Libpack, I guess. Okay,
yes,
I see, but there's interesting. Because Libpack is interesting, was just published as 2.0.0.
that's the latest version, right?
But somehow create package was not.
Yes. Let me. I think
Okay.
I remember. Libpack CMD. So if you go on the CMD/create package on the version 1.7.1.73, for example,
Okay, so this is in releases or
like on the on the repo code, like if you click on the tags,
tags. Okay, so if I look at tags, yeah.
if you go 1.73, for example,
Yep.
then you will see that under CMD folder, there is the create package folder, and it's
Right,
easy
okay.
to find it and install it. But now on version 2, does not exist.
Okay. Well, you know what I'd say? Why don't we PR or just delete it?
Yeah, like, but I'm not quite sure if any other like if we delete it, then it would be also good to merge it on the GitHub config. But if we merge it on the GitHub config,
Right.
we have to propagate the changes in other build packs. And in that case, I'm not quite sure if other build packs use script package or something similar, or I don't know. But
So
I
it's installed by the common. Okay, so it probably okay, so if it's installed by the common tooling versus the regular tooling, that would make sense that some other I would open an issue then on GitHub config saying like we don't need this, but it seems to be installing something that's missing. Because
uh,
that's likely got to hit everything else, right? So let's see here.
yes.
Let's look at the Paketo build packs. Paketo GitHub. Build packs. We can go to repositories, and I'm gonna go like Java. Is there one? Java. PRs there. Go modules. Is there any GitHub config there?
So yeah, like I pinged them on Slack now, I remember, and there's a conversation. I don't know if I can share it. That so I told them about this issue.
Yep.
Instead of using the create package command, which one would you suggest instead? And Daniel said that Libpack Tools has a published CLI, so no need to build anymore. If you just want the CLI in a way, he said, you can fetch the release binaries from GitHub releases. So
But I guess we don't really like from the Node side, you said it's not an issue, right?
yes.
So where is which file in GitHub config is it set to install that?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have thought that it was like installing things like that. Update GitHub config was just updating existing ones. But maybe I'm not understanding.
Sorry, can you repeat? Like we don't, this is something that it's on the options, and then just it takes it from there and goes and download it from. the
Right, but okay, so but if this updates GitHub config, so this is basically saying I see. So okay, so it's tools.json that is a common one, right?
yes, correct.
But I think like the issue is it doesn't exist anymore. So nowhere where that gets used is it going to work.
Yes, that's correct.
So the right answer is probably to just PR the common one and say this no longer exists. And then as like each individual package that uses it, they're going to have to figure out what to do if they're actually using it, right? So they'll get a PR that says update this, it'll break it. Then they'll have to be the trigger to say like, okay, we'll need to fix this by replacing it with something else or not, right?
Correct, because the solutions, like I was trying to find the equivalent one.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do in the first place. So how, if I do not know what exactly it does, like,
Yep.
how should I searched a little bit around on repos and I didn't find someone patching it or something like that.
So maybe nobody uses it in I don't know, right? I would just say like I think if we basically say like no, let's update PR the common one unless anybody complains, then it'll just
Yes,
trickle down to and that'll identify people who know and they should know what they're doing with it, right? And figure out how to fix that.
correct. Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Okay, sounds good. Discussed issue. Okay, and I guess that probably takes us to the end of the agenda. So unless there's anything else, we'll see everybody next time and in GitHub.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yep, bye.